Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lena and I make college and book related content here on YouTube, and today will be another college day in my life. So today is Monday, November 14th. So that means I have two classes on Mondays at 8:50. I have my Jane Austen senior seminar, and then at night, I have a night class, yes. I have my Shakespeare class. We are starting my work on both finals in those classes, and so for my Jane Austen class we're working on our senior seminar paper. Sorry, my earrings messed up. We're working on our senior seminar paper, and then for Shakespeare we're working on our performance, because it's a performance-based class, which is kind of hilarious to think about for me personally. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan for today. I also just have a lot of homework that needs to be done, and a bunch of random little administrative things, and then we'll see if we get to do anything fun today. We'll see. It's actually cold for once, so I get to wear a nice warm sweater. I got this sweater from LL Bean as a Christmas present last year, and I absolutely love it. I just love the colors and the knit and all that stuff. And I'm wearing like black jeans today. It actually snowed yesterday for the first time, but the snow did not stick around, so it's just cold now, and the dead fall vibes. So without further ado, I'm gonna head off to Dana, and then I'm gonna go to my Jane Austen seminar, and then I will catch up with you all after I get out of class or sometime around there. So I just got back from class. It's a little bit before noon, but I'm gonna take this opportunity and extra time right now to wash my dishes, because all of my mugs need to be washed from this past weekend. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will update you all about how this morning went and my plans for the afternoon. So as you saw, I washed my dishes, made myself a cup of tea. Now I'm going to get to work for the afternoon. It's a little bit after 12, and I have a lot of stuff that I need to get done this week. It's the last week before we get off for Thanksgiving vacation. We have a week off for Thanksgiving, and so there's a lot of like random things I need to be doing, and also a lot of big assignments I need to be doing if I want to be able to enjoy my Thanksgiving break in any capacity. But I took some time, just a few minutes, to kind of prioritize what I want to get done today, and then obviously I have a longer list of other things that if I have more time I can do them. So I have my Shakespeare class this evening, and so I just wrote on a little sticky my 3 priorities for today. So I am going to finish up my character packets, which is due tonight for Shakespeare. I started them, but I need to finish them, and I'll show you what those are in a little bit. I also need to submit an application for a job. I haven't talked about this a lot on YouTube, mostly because obviously I value my privacy, and also I am someone who likes to keep their cards close to them, and so I have been applying to jobs this semester. The plan is to get a job, but I have not nailed anything down officially yet, and so I will be sharing more about that eventually, as much as I can at least, after that's all figured out or when I feel comfortable doing that. But for now, just know I am applying to jobs. Lots of fun and stressful times with that, and yeah, so that's that. So there's an application that's due today, so I'm gonna finish that up and then send it in. And then the final thing that I'm going to work on is my Anne of Brittany project. When I went to the library today after class, I printed out my rough draft of what I have so far, which is 17 pages, which if you told Lena last year, even when I was studying abroad in France, that I was gonna write a 17-page paper in French and not literally die in the process, I would be amazed. So I have to go through this and make corrections and also just like fix some parts, maybe add in, take out, whatever. And then if I can get that done, the goal is to get this done by tomorrow morning around like 7 or 8 a.m. so I can send it off to my professor for her to read it so she can give me feedback. As far as this morning went, I went to my Jane Austen class in the morning, just did some review of kind of all the novels we've read and talked a little bit about forming our final seminar paper. And then she had rescheduled our conferences that were canceled last week to this coming week, so I have mine this week. And before we go to the conference, we just need to have finished our annotated bibliography and then also bring our intro paragraph for our final paper. So I'm actually almost done with my annotated bibliography. That's what I was working on this morning because honestly in the syllabus it wasn't quite clear if it was going to be due today or on Wednesday, and so I figured I might as well get the draft of it done today just in case and then just polish it up for Wednesday. And so we didn't actually need to have it done today, but that means I am slightly ahead of the curve, which I am grateful for, especially because this week is so hectic. But yeah, we had that, and then I went to the library, which I didn't really film because the library actually kind of a lot of people in the area that I was studying in. And I just sent off some administrative emails for random things, worked on my Anne thing a little bit, printed it off, and now I'm back in my room ready to get some work done. So for my Shakespeare class, we're doing a performance of King Henry IV, Part 1, and so in this we have to obviously memorize our lines. We're working on blocking right now in class, but we were also given these character packets where we have to answer questions about maybe costuming and props. We had to copy down our lines to do stuff with scansion and chunking and emotions and things like that, so just a bunch of assignments. So I have to go through these packets and finish them up, so that's what I'm going to work on right now. Okay, so it is now 2:20. I worked on my character packets and finished them all up from like 12:15 to 1-ish. And now I've just been working on my application for that job. Mostly I'm working on my cover letter and kind of just reformatting it, adding more details, thinking about what I want to emphasize, what I don't want to emphasize. And then this application also has a required prompt that you need to answer within the cover letter, so I'm also trying to weave that in and incorporate that all and have it as smooth as possible while also communicating what I want to communicate. I think I'm going to actually read for like 20 minutes or so. I'll show you the book I'm reading. I checked this out from the library, I think last week maybe. It's called Night of the Living Res by Morgan Talty, and it is a collection of short stories. I am on page 86 of like 278, and it is, as you could probably guess, a collection of short stories about different characters who live on a reservation, and the reservation is in Maine, I believe. It's set in the 21st century, and it's the Penobscot tribe, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not a huge short story person, but I kind of wanted to pick this up as November is Indigenous History Month, or Heritage Month, I'm pretty sure. And so I wanted to read some Indigenous authors, Indigenous stories, and things like that, and also the benefit of short stories is I'm able to pick it up and just read it whenever I want to and kind of get through a short story and then put the book down for a while if I want to. So I'm going to read this, probably read like one short story, and then I will get back to work. The plan after this, depending on how long it takes me to read, I will work out, and then I have a couple hours 2 hours before I need to go to supper and have my Shakespeare class, so we'll see what I'm doing then. And also, if you're wondering, just before I start reading, this is my new little friend that my mom got me. She got my sisters and I all matching ones, and so my new friend for the Thanksgiving season. So I just finished up my workout. It is now 3:40 and I changed back into my sweater. I just did cardio and abs today, or like a HIIT workout and abs. And I just ordered a coffee at the pub or the North Star Cafe. I don't typically do this, but it's just a treat / I want to be able to use up all my money before the semester ends. So I've done the math to see how much money I should spend each week, so I know like what I can do when I want to order a coffee or a tea or whatever. So I'm gonna go to the pub, and I also am probably gonna call my mom right now. I'm not sure if she's available, we'll see. And then after that I'll come back to my room and we're gonna work more on finishing up the cover letter, and then also do my Anne project. And then on another note, I did read a short story for this, and the one thing that I didn't mention is it's interesting because they're all individual short stories and you could read them all separately. Most of them were published separately in different magazines throughout, but a lot of the characters cross across the stories because it's all in the same community, which I'm actually kind of enjoying because it makes it more of like a novel feeling, and I'm allowed to become more attached to the characters and become more invested in their stories. So that's great about this, but I am off to the pub to go get that, and I will check in with you all later. So now that we have this warm, cozy lighting, it's 4:15. I just got off the phone with my mom, and I'm taking a break from drinking this. I got a macchiato, I think. I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but I will contextualize this with when I need caffeine, I can drink it as long as it's like no sugar sweeteners added, because that gives me like a headache and a stomach ache. But if I drink it slow enough, I can push my way through it, and I need the caffeine because to explain how my night went last night, I worked in the French Writing Center until 10 p.m. and then I like had an appointment from 9:30 till 10, so I was working right up until I left. And then when I got back to my room, I was just sending out some emails and doing last minute homework things, and then finally like around 10:45 or maybe 11, no, around like 11, I got into bed. I was like, thank goodness I can go to bed, day's done. And I was just drifting off to sleep when I remembered that I did not have the session report form for my last appointment, and so I had to get out of bed and fill that out. And then that woke me up and it took forever to fall asleep after that. So I am exhausted because then I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning to get my annotated bibliography done. So love that for me, and I did not take a nap today because I just have too much work to do. But I'm going to finish up my cover letter, polish it, submit it, because that was the last thing I needed to do for the application, and then I will work on my Anne project as much as I can. But also at 5 o'clock I have open door hours, so I definitely need to get my application done before then. Oh yeah, I was also gonna say that I had to stop drinking this because at least half the time, no, I'd probably say 25% of the time that I order a coffee and it's just black with milk, they add sweetener because it's like they can't comprehend that you wouldn't want sweetener, and so there is sweetener in this, and it's like kind of making me sick to my stomach. But I ordered it and spent money on this, so we're trying to push through. It is officially nighttime because the sun is set. It's a little bit after 6. I just finished my open door hours for this Monday evening, and I actually did talk to some residents this time, so that was nice. And now I'm about to head off to supper. My hope is that I can continue to do a little bit of Anne work while I'm at supper, because I always underestimate how long revisions take me, because I start to realize like I don't like so many things. So the reason why I'm doing it on paper partly is because then I'm not messing around with a physical document, and I can go and mess around with it after and like figure out what I want to prioritize and changing, because obviously that matters. So I'm going to go to supper, work on that, then go to Shakespeare in time, and we'll do that. And then honestly, probably won't check in with you for the rest of the night, because I'll come back from Shakespeare and just get to work on Anne or whatever I have time for. But thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions, book recommendations, video recommendations, feel free to leave them down in the comments below.